and welcome to your weekly vibe check. Now, these readings are all about things that you need to bring into awareness for this week in order to align, activate, and awaken your highest potential this week. Now, the first reading, we're going to go right into it. If you've picked reading number one, we are in your heart for this week. And for a lot of you, I'm just seeing it dripping with sadness, dripping with heaviness. And this week is about paying attention to where you're giving your heart towards. Because I feel a lot of you are giving your heart energy towards things that you're not receiving energy back in. There's this so much of giving, yet a lack of receiving. And when it's coupled here with this balance card, and it did come in reversed, I'm feeling for most of you who are in this reading, your heart is not engaged in most things in your life. When I feel into your career, it is like you're just doing the do. When I see you receiving love, nurturing, compassion, energy, it's very limited. And so this week is all about finding balance. Now, this is not about asking people to treat you differently or to do things differently. This week is all about you going within and finding out, where did your joy go? Where did your happiness go? Where did your spark go? Because for most of you, I'm feeling that that is very dimmed out. Your joy, your happiness, your peace, your love of yourself is really saturated with this dripping, sad energy. And I feel like a lot of you have been feeling lost in your lives. So, in order to feel awakened and aligned, we need to start going into our heart. We need to go back in and see, especially this week, what are you holding on to? Because all of a sudden I'm hearing these nattering and these words. So I feel like a lot of you are holding on to past experiences, past conversations. Like even in your relationships, I feel like you're holding on to past hurts in all areas of your life, of just where things didn't work out. And now you've kind of just surrendered to dim yourself. And if you've picked this reading, it's because there is another option. And I think you've maybe forgotten that there's another option. But it does require you to go into your heart and see what it's holding on to, and see if you can start releasing some of this sadness, some of this heaviness that you're holding within the heart. So, your challenge this week is to do something that brings you a small amount of joy, just a small amount of happiness. It doesn't need to be anything major, anything big, but what is one small thing that you could do for yourself that could actually activate a spark? Now, for some of you, we have so many people here in this reading. Some of you are like, oh, I'm going to go and join this and do this. And some of you are like, you know what? I just want a hot coffee when I want a hot coffee. So it's going to be different for all of you. But this week is about putting yourself first somewhere, somehow throughout the week. Yes? So maybe it's allowing yourself to sleep in on Saturday morning, telling your whole household, do not bother me. I am sleeping in. For some of you, it may be buying yourself something. It's all dependent on your love language, right? How do you know when you are loved? So when someone does something for you, there's different love languages. Some are gifts, some are quality of time, some are compliments. You need to find out what your love language is and give it to yourself. For a lot of you, I think you've been waiting for this from others. And this is what this reading's about too. It's not about having others bring in joy or happiness or just a good feeling to your life. This reading is all about how you can bring that in for yourself. And a lot of you, I even feel are resistant. Like, why should I have to do it for myself? Well, here's the thing. No one is responsible for your joy, for your happiness. Yes, you are only responsible for it. So this week is really awakening of how are you holding yourself down? What are you holding into your heart that is stopping you from really enjoying your world and your life, that is creating this deep, deep imbalance? So this week, it's all about small steps, about activating that heart, about bringing in some love for yourself, but the right way with your own love language. If you don't know your love language, go and find out what it is. You are responsible for you. And this week, it's all about bringing in your heart and releasing what no longer needs to be held there. I hope this resonated for you. Take care. And welcome to reading number 2. Now, this one's very, very interesting. It is starting off with the crown chakra. So, for this week, it's really asking about what are you being led by in your life? So, those higher purposes, those higher values and beliefs. And with the sacrifice card, I feel like some of you are turning in a new leaf, turning in a new book, meaning maybe some of you, when you were younger, you got invested in a very, this is the career I'm going to do, this is going to bring me happiness and wealth. And now you're starting to go, maybe that's not right. And also in relationships here, they're kind of showing me like whose values, whose higher purpose are you following? Are you following your own? Have you sacrificed it for another, for your family? Are you doing and leading your life by your higher purpose, by your higher calling? And I feel like a lot of you in these last few years, there's been this almost nagging feeling of wanting to be leading your life in a different way, in a different purpose, in a different energy, and coming to really realize how much sacrifice perhaps you've given. And the word delusion is coming up, an illusion that perhaps my happiness would have been here or with this person or living in this way or looking this way. And you're finding that that is wearing out for you, that it's no longer leading you to the road of happiness, joy, and prosperity. And so this week is about really seeing where you want to align your life with what beliefs, with what values, with what higher purpose. And it doesn't mean that you need to quit your job tomorrow, but maybe you start volunteering somewhere else. Or maybe you start looking at your relationship and go, oh, the last few years we've been veering this way. What about if we want to veer a different way? Right? For some of you, I'm even seeing that maybe it's time to retire. Maybe it's time to actually give up something that no longer is yours, that is no longer aligned for you, and stop sacrificing your time and your energy to something that just really is not aligned. So, if you're here, it's because the universe really wants to ask you, is it worth the sacrifice? Is it time to start realigning to your truth of your crown chakra? What higher order, what higher wisdom do you want to live your life by? And again, this doesn't need to be something big. It can be small things. Are you living in your truth? Are you saying words in your truth? Right? Because I feel like a lot of you are putting on a mask covering your unhappiness. And so when you're speaking, you're telling people, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm fine. But there's another truth that is behind here. So, are you ready to really step into your truth and start bringing a new alignment? Because that's what this week is all about. We've just newly started a new year, and there's chaos. There is chaos in our world. And we do need to remember that life is short. And how do you want to live your life? This is what this week is all about. And again, it's not about reacting this week. This week is really about getting information about perhaps where you have sacrificed yourself. And it's really saying that perhaps that sacrifice is no longer needed. Perhaps you do have options. Perhaps you do have opportunities. And all of a sudden, the energy gets really, really exciting because it's not going to be now. It's going to be likely in mid February where you're going to start seeing some new opportunities, some new things opening into your life. But you first got to see where you're sacrificing your energy to and really honestly ask yourself, is it worth the sacrifice? Yes. So this week is all about pondering, all about coming within. And again, for some of you, I'm getting some fear here. It doesn't mean that you need to do anything, but it can be maybe scary coming face to face with your own truth, right? And we can only do that for ourselves. We can only come to our own truth when we open our own eyes and listen to our own self. And this is what this week is for. So I hope this resonated for you. If not, go ahead and listen to the other readings. There's beautiful, beautiful marbles of wisdom from the universe in the other readings as well. Hope you have a great week. And welcome to reading 3. Here we're going to your solar plexus, a chakra, and this is really amazing because it has the power card. So for you who chose this reading, you are just roaring with your self-empowerment this week. This week is about getting shit done, and you are so, so, so good at it. So this is such a beautiful energy for you all. Now, for some of you, it this week is calling you to harness that power, meaning I'm seeing some of you in your work environments, in your personal relationships that may require you to be heard, to stand up, to create boundaries as well. So, for many of you, this could almost be a challenging week if you're not used to stepping into your own power in your solar plexus, because this is what this week is calling about. So it's about, people coming into your life this week, especially again, I feel it for work, where people are pushing your boundaries and trying to push at your boundaries of your roles, of your responsibilities. And I don't feel like this is the first time. So this is about saying no. This is about stepping into your power, having your voice, and declaring what is right and wrong for you. Now, this week is going to require for you guys who's picked this reading, I just feel like there are some choices and decisions coming for you this week too that you really need to be certain about. This is not a time or a week for doubt. So if you're making any big choices and decisions this week, you got to make sure that it's coming from a powerful energy of alignment for you. Okay. So take a look at this week, see what choices and decisions are coming up, and deeply feel into them. If it is a hell yes, it should feel like a hell yes. If it's a no, it's going to feel like a no. And this week, they really want me to tell you, you have to honor that. Okay. So this week is really about making right choices and decisions, because I feel for some of you, these choices and decisions are going to continue on in the upcoming month as well. So whatever you're deciding this week, it's not a short-term choice and decision. I'm not asking you, do you want a vanilla ice cream? No, these are choices and decisions that will ripple out to others. So you do need to ensure that it is coming deep, deep within you in your own innate wisdom. You got to remember the solar plexus is where we hold our power, but it's how we view ourselves and how we think others view us as well. And this is a week not to get wrapped up in how you want others to see you, right? So if you're a person who wants others to always see you as kind and easy, this is likely not the week for that. This is the week about your truth, activating it, stepping into it, and making the right choices and decisions from it as well. Now, a lot of you are a little bit scared about making the wrong choice and decision. And so this week, right here, right now, declare to yourself that I will activate my own personal power. I will activate my own intuition. Yes. And you really feel into your choices and decisions. Sometimes we get so busy that we don't pay attention when our body will tell us when something is yes, will tell us when something is no. We will feel it. But if we're so busy and if we're so wrapped up in others, how others are going to perceive us, how others are going to take it, we can deny our own power. Yes. So watch out for that. These choices and decisions are not to be made in haste. They are meant to be fully felt and to be fully appreciated, meaning bringing in your logical and analytical side, but also your deeply intuitive side. So you have all the energy needed for this week ahead of you. And this will also lend itself to the weekend. I just find that this might be a little bit of a roller coaster week for you, where it feels like A, people are coming at you, and B, that you have some pivotal choices and decisions to make. So, this is just a reminder, really, for you to make sure you're standing in your power, you're feeling it, and you're deeply knowing what to say yes and no to. All right. You've got this. This week is all about aligning and activating for you. Take care.